Hey everyone, I hope you all are safe and doing good. So in the series of learning Python programming language, we are discussing inheritance in Python. In the previous video, we have seen what is inheritance basically and why we need this concept. Why need of inheritance? What are, you can say, some benefits of using this concept, right? Inheritance concept in object-oriented programming. Right, that thing we have seen in the previous video with the help of proper example, with the help of a program. Now, we will discuss types of inheritance. So, there are single inheritance, multiple inheritance, multi-level inheritance, hierarchical inheritance and hybrid inheritance. 5 types of inheritance, right? Okay, now, whatever we have seen in the previous video, that was single inheritance. Means one parent class and from there we derive one class which is child class. So this is parent, or you can say base class, or you can say super class. This is child class, or you can say derived class, or you can say subclass, right? So only one child class will inherit properties from one parent class. So this is what single inheritance, right? This thing with proper example we have seen in the last video, right? Now next is multiple inheritance. Now what if you want to inherit properties from 2 or more classes? Like we inherit properties from our mother and father as well. So we are having 2 parent classes, right? So parent 1 and parent 2. From both the parent, one child class, means one child class or derived class inherits properties from more than one parent classes. That type of inheritance is known as multiple inheritance. Parent classes may be 2, 3, 4, 5, means more than one. If one parent class, one child class, that is single inheritance. If one child class but more than one parent class or base classes, that is known as multiple inheritance. I hope you got this. Like we inherit property from our father and mother as well. So we have 2 parent classes. Right, so this is what multiple inheritance, right? Or you can assume like this is mother, this is father, and this is you. Fine. Now, how this is different from the single inheritance? Why multiple inheritance? What is use of multiple inheritance, right? And now see, this child class can access all the attributes and methods of all the parent classes. For this from this parent class as well, right? I hope now basic idea you got what is multiple inheritance. Now let's see this with the help of one program. Okay, so let's create a new file here and we are discussing multiple inheritance. So multiple inheritance.py, right? Same class name we will take, like in the previous video we have seen this class human and with class male. So let me just copy paste this thing. And so in the previous case we were having like one human class and this male class is deriving from human class. So this is base class human and male is derived class or child class. One base class and one child class. Then this is what single inheritance, right? This is the example of single inheritance, right? Now we are discussing multiple inheritance. So we will take example of where like we are having 2 base classes and one child class. So base class will consider like human and male. So let's remove this. This male is not deriving from human. This is separate human class. This is separate male class. Now let's define one more class. Okay, let's delete these things. And we are having one more class. Let's suppose we are having a class boy and boy will inherit both human and male. So what is the syntax? Name of the classes separated with comma, okay, and male. Now this is deriving both the human class and male class. So now let's have a function. In human class I am having simple function like that we have taken in previous video, and this is simple one, I can eat. In male class I am having one more function and that is flirt, right? So one method and one method, right? Now this boy can inherit both this method and this method. right? Let's see. I'm not writing anything in this boy class. Let's write down just pass. So now just create an object from this boy class, like boy underscore 1 is equal to name of the class is boy, and no need to pass anything. Now let's see, with the help of this boy object you can access, see, eat method and flirt method. Eat method is from human class and flirt is from male class, right? And init, obviously we are not having any init, so this is what that specifically for that object, this object only. So let's call this flirt and let's run this. So it will print I can flirt like this. If you are having more than one method in this, more than one in this, then all the methods it can inherit, right? Okay, let's see this example. I am having like same method def work, the same method I am having here, but rather than work I'll write here I can code. So method name is same, work and work, but for human class the definition of this method is different. I can work, and male class is having its own definition, like I can code. Now the problem is, I've told you it will access both the two methods of human, both these two methods of male, means all the methods of both the classes, right? Now work and work, we are having same method. So in this case what will happen? See, let's see, boy 1 dot. Now see, flirt, eat and only one work method, and that is from human class. It is deriving. It is not deriving the work method from male class. Let's see, if you print work, then it will print only I can work. See, I can work. Means this order, in which order you are writing these base classes while creating your derived class, that matters. If the first order, the first written class is human, means if the method name is same in both the classes, then it will access whatever class you have written at first. From that parent class it will access that method, right? So it will not access, it will not derive the work method of male class. If you want to, now the problem is, the question is, if this question is biting you, like if I want to print, I want to call this work method, then the solution is what? Means you are having a creative mind. Good for you. Now the one solution is, first I can write male and after that I can write human, this class. And now let's print this work method and see. Now it is printing I can code, right, from this. But this is not a proper solution. If you are having multiple, classes, many methods, so it's not like that every time we will change the order, right? So let's keep this order like this, human and male. Now the solution is what? I'll tell you. First, from which class you want to access that method? So from male class. So just write down the name of the class, then dot, then name of the method, work. Here I am having work and flirt, two methods. So I want to access work. But in bracket, you need to pass on which object you want to call this method. I want to call, because I haven't created any object of male class, I want to call this method through object of this boy class, the derived class. So just in bracket, pass the name of the object, boy1. Let's run this. Okay, let's comment out this thing. Now it will print I can code. See, although in the order male is at second number, but still we are accessing this work method from male, from the second class. So I hope you got the solution, right? Answer of this question. Now these are all about methods, right? And see, this boy can also have its own methods. Like I am just defining a method. One method I can sleep, and same method work I am also defining here. I can like test, like testing department is also there, like coding department and testing department. So testing is also important. So I can test. So now if you simply call with this boy this work method, just comment out this line, then what it will print? See, I can test. So what is the order of calling the methods? See, which, boy, dot, and see, work from boy, flirt from male, sleep from boy, eat from human. So this work from boy we can access using this particular, you can say, notation, using object name dot method name. So okay, although it can access this work method and this work method also, because obviously we are inheriting these classes. This is child class of these two parent classes, so it can access all the methods of both the parent class. But if you print something like this and method name are same in all the three classes, then what is the order? First it will search for that method in its own class, then the class which is at first order, then the class which is at second order, right? So this kind of thing, this ordering, this is something known as MRO here, like method resolution order. So MRO is method resolution order. So if you want to check out this method resolution order for this boy class, then we just simply write the class name boy dot, and you can see MRO. As you can see here, MRO, it's a function as well as a field. So either you can use this or you can use this. I'm using the function, right? Now let's run this and see. Okay, it is a function you are calling, so obviously you have to print. You have to write down print statement here, because whatever this function will return, that obviously you need to print. See, I can test, and the MRO for this class is, first class is main class, that is boy. So first it will search in boy class, then it will search in human class, then it will search in male class. So this is the MRO, method resolution order, for this boy class, right? And then if any object is created, right? So see, this MRO thing is very important in multiple inheritance. So it's just a baby step. So the basic we are clearing. So you need to know, yeah, there is some kind of thing MRO, and what is this MRO, right? I hope now you got the order, right? If you change here male and here human, so the MRO would be first boy class, then male class, then human class, and then any object created. So this is your quiz question. You are having the work method only here in male class only. I can code. No work method in human, no work method in boy. And now if you access boy1 dot work, then what it will print? Just write down the answer in this in comment section, right? Now this is all about methods. Now we have attribute also. Okay, let's define attributes. So let's take init function, and same we will take. So in this I am having only two attributes, num eyes and num nose, and for male also I am having my own init function, that constructor, sorry, and here I am having self dot, suppose I am passing language or not language, the same thing. Example, in previous video we have taken this example. Suppose we are passing only name, so as a parameter I am passing name, right? So now these attributes and these attributes, obviously it will access all the attributes and methods of both the parent classes, right? Let's see, if you create something like this, then, and we are not printing this one, we are just printing boy using this object dot. See, now you can access name, num eyes, num nose, name from male, num eyes from human, and num nose from human, right? So if I want to print num nose, let's run this. Okay, you need to print this. See, num nose is 1. What if you want to print name? Let's run this and see. See, boy object has no attribute name here. This boy object has no attribute name. This is attribute array. But maybe, now obviously you will say we have name attribute here in male class, and it is deriving, and it is, deriving all the attribute from both the parent class. So why this error you are getting? The problem is, now when this object would be created, you know, if you have this init function, so this init function would be called every time you create an object, right? Now, which init function would be called? Human init function or male init function? I don't know. If you want to check out, then let's just print here. Calling init from human, calling init from male. In this init and in this init. Let's run this. And first, let's just print here just number of no's. See, calling init from human and 1. Only one init function it will call, and that is from human class. Obviously, the same rule that in method calling has been applied. At first number we are having human, so it will call, it will search where is the init function. In boy, do you have init function? No. Then it will search. In human, do you have init constructor? Yes, you have. So it will call this constructor. It will not call from male. So only this it is calling. That is why the name attribute, it is giving this error. Now, if you want to call like both the constructor, or if you want to call the constructor from male, then the solution is, here you need to specify. So first, let's define the init function for self, and here you need to specify which init function you need to call. I want to call from male. So see, there are many number of ways to do this kind of thing, but this is the simplest one I'm telling you. The name of the class, male dot init function, and here what you are passing, name attribute, right? So you need to pass here self comma name, right? Because here we are having only one attribute, name. So one parameter name you need to pass, and if you are passing here one, obviously then same name you need to pass here, one parameter. This and this name should be same, right? This can be different, but it show that it only show that you need to pass one parameter. So this here in this init function, and within this init I am calling from male init function name, right? Now it will call from main, but it will give error this point of time. Why so? See, line number 28, boy 1, you are creating this object, type error, boy dot init missing one required positional argument, that is name. So in line number 28 here you are calling here, so you need to pass name here. So let's pass this name and let's pass Rahul. Run this. Now boy object has no attribute num nose. See, you are printing num nose, but boy has no attribute num nose. Why so? Because this num nose is in this constructor from human, but we are calling constructor from male only. That is why these attributes are not these attributes. This will give error. Like if you using this, you will call the attribute for human class, then this will give this error, attribute error, right? So now the problem is I want these attribute as well as name attribute. So it's okay, you can call from both the classes. I mean the constructor from both the classes, human dot init and self comma, if you have any parameter here, no parameter we are passing here, so nothing you need to pass. Now let's run this. See, calling init from human, then calling init from male, and number of no's 1. Now this time we are calling both the constructor, this and this. So this is the simplest way you can call both the constructor. If you don't write anything, then by default at first what you will write from that, if you don't define your own constructor here, your own init function in derived class, then it will call from the first class, first parent class, right? Now one question for you is, if in self I am passing same thing, one parameter num heart, right? And here we are just taking one more attribute num heart, right? And here in this init I want it should have its in this it should have its own parameter language. Means language means C, C++, Python, any language you can pass. Now let's update this thing. Let's first of all run this thing and see what error you will get, and let's correct that error, right? Why you are getting that error and what you need to write down, where you need to update. So just pause the video and try this code. Okay, let's run this first and see the error. In line number 27, where you are calling this, creating the object, then boy.init missing one required positional argument, that is language. First instance type error is this in line number 27. In line number 27. So obviously Rahul we are passing only one parameter, but here name as well as language. So let's pass language too. Language I am passing suppose Python. Okay, let's run this. Still there is error. See, in line number 27 we are creating this object. Line number 21, when you are calling this init function, the init constructor from human, then this human init missing one required positional argument, that is numHeart. Yeah, that is also fine because we have updated this init. Now this point of time it will accept one more parameter. So while calling here human init, you have to pass one more parameter. Any name you can take. I am taking only heart, right? Maybe you think it's right, but still you will get an error. See, now name heart is not defined, name error in line number 21. Here, heart. Okay, maybe you think its name should be numHeart. Okay, numHeart. Fine. Let's run. Still, name numHeart is not defined in the same line. And why you are getting this error in line number 21, numHeart is not defined? Because we are calling this constructor here in boy class. So in boy class also we have init function. So here also you have name as well as, suppose I am taking heart and its own language, because see, from this init name it will derive, from this init heart it will derive. So in its own init obviously two parameter name should be there, right, to fetch the value of name and heart, number of heart. That is why it is giving an error. And language, it is having its own parameter language. Many parameters it can have its own, like, right? But whatever parameter in the parent classes you are having in this init constructor, you have to write down those parameter name also. Not compulsory that the name should be same, exactly same, but number of parameter should be same. So I am just calling here heart, and here same name you need to pass, heart, right? This time you will not get any error. Okay, while calling you are getting now error. While calling at line number 27, missing one required positional argument, which is language, in line number 27. Okay, now it is expecting name, heart and language, three parameters, and you are passing only Rahul and Python. So Rahul for name, Python for heart and for language, you don't know. So Rahul, then heart, number of heart you should pass 1 if you are passing only positional argument, not keyword argument, and Python. Now if you print boy1 dot, I am printing numHeart from human class. See, name from male, numNose from human, numEyes from human, right? So dot, and suppose I want to print number of heart. Let's run this. Calling from human class, calling from male class, 1 1. Number of nose, number of heart, 1 1, both are 1 1. Okay. Now language, if you want to print, in that case obviously first you need to create its own attribute. Language is equal to language. Self.language is equal to this language. Obviously you have to define this attribute here in this init function, right? Because language is attribute is its own of boy class. Name and heart are from parent classes. right? Now you can access this language, this attribute as well. Boy1 dot language, and see it will print 1 1 and Python, right? So I hope you got this thing. And if in boy, like if you want to define your own method, this is for your assignment. Let's define a method display, and here it should print hi, I am the name and I work on the language you pass, right? And you have to call this display function, right? This is for your assignment. Now pause the video and try this out. So I hope you have done this. See how you can print hi, I am, from where you can fetch the name from name attribute, right? Self dot name, and I work on self dot language, whatever language you will call. So let's just call this function using this boy1 dot display. Okay, let's comment out these 3 lines first. Let's run this and see. Calling from him and calling from both the constructor, we are calling hi, I am Rahul and I work on Python. None. Okay, you are printing this, that is why it is printing none, because display function is not returning anything, it's just printing, right? And if you print, then it will return. Obviously every function is going to return something, so if you don't write any return statement, then it will return none. That is why it was printing none. So let's run this and see hi, I am Rahul and I work on Python, right? So this is like the concept of multiple inheritance, how you can access attributes and methods from the parent classes, and if both 2 parent classes are having same attribute or same method name, then how you can access that particular method, right? Just that I have told you, the class name. If you want to access the work method from mail, then class name dot the method name, and in bracket just pass the derived class object, right? That's it. And I hope you also have some idea of MRO, method resolution order function. That is very important, because you will get this type of error many times when you deal in multiple inheritance or hybrid inheritance or multi-level inheritance, this kind of inheritance, right? So then you will get error regarding to that MRO. So you need to understand what is MRO and how this works, right? You need to understand the order in which the derived class is calling the methods and attributes from base classes, if there are more than 1 base classes, right? Okay, so now in the next video we'll see multi-level inheritance. So now we'll see in the next video. Till then, bye bye, take care.